Bryant puts on all the moves and knocks down the jumper. Off the bench to Kobe. Kobe a three again.
About it many times.
Oh, how about Kobe with the reverse?
In the first quarter this season. Bryant trying to maintain his footing. He does. Taking the baseline. Bryant trying to fend off. Three to shoot. Bryant, tough delivery.
Yes, I would say I just want to pay respects to Kobe Bryant. He is very important to sport in general. He's someone that was a big football fan, as we talk about football every week, as you know. And respect to him and his family and his daughter who died as well, and everyone else that was on that helicopter.
Yeah, definitely rest in peace.
Yeah, massive respect.
Yeah, definitely. The old Kobe Bryant, that's myself actually, so he was so big, he was so massive. You know, up there with the likes of Air Jordan, Magic Johnson, just a legend.
Yeah, absolute legend, huge legend. So apparently AC Milan, they asked the Italian FA to wear the black bands around their arm because that's the team he supported growing up. So yeah, he went to school in Italy, and the Italian FA said to them that they can't wear those black bands, but they ignored the Italian FA and they're just going to do it anyway.
Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't know that. But yeah, I think they're very passionate at AC Milan.
Very, very. I didn't strike them as being this passionate, but it's good to see.
No, it is, definitely. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about solidarity and football as well, so it is nice to see.
Yeah, it's great for sport. Great for sport.
Kobe in very deep. He's double teamed up and under, and Bryant, much to the delight of this crowd.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
What is happening, everyone? Welcome to episode 17 of FPL Bros. We're recording on the 28th of January. Yeah, we're about 90% through Gameweek 24, and I just want to reassure everybody that Liverpool definitely have not won the title. I repeat, they definitely haven't won because we're just taking it one game at a time, aren't we?
I mean, yeah. The title's not won until the last game, I say.
I'm definitely going to agree with that.
Oh, bless.
So what's been happening in the FPL world, boys?
We've not been on for a while.
Yeah.
Obviously, people may have noticed. So I was just going to quickly do a review of Game Week 23 and what's happened in Game Week 24 so far. So I will start. Game Week 23, I was quite happy with how that went for me. Ended up with 67 points. And yeah, I just stuck to my guns with Wolves. Jimenez 13 points, Shari 10 points, and then Grealish, Alexander-Arnold, Salah, Foster all coming in as well. The big block on that game week, though, obviously, was one Mr. Jamie Vardy contriving to miss a penalty. And I captained him. So 0 times 2 is 0. So other than that, though, it was all good. And then if I just briefly move on to Game Week 24, as I said, there's still one game of that left because it was a double game week for Liverpool and West Ham United. So far, I'm sitting on 44 points, triple captained Salah, but we'll get onto that a little bit later, I suppose. But generally speaking, could have been worse. I'm still sticking with my Wolves boys, so they did it all right for me. I've got Pereira in defence from Leicester, and he had an amazing game with 12 points. So that's a brief review score-wise anyway. Fellas?
So for me, personally, Game Week 23 was okay, although I was kicking myself because I brought in Calvert-Lewin and he started off really well for me by getting a goal. And I was quite excited until Jimenez just ruined my whole week by scoring that brace. And yeah, I took out Jimenez to bring in DCL, so I wasn't too happy about that. Like yourself, captain-wise, didn't do too great, but I wasn't as bad as you, so I had De Bruyne as my captain. Grealish ticked over, and Pope got me some really good points with, I think it was a penalty save, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. He saved Vardy's flipping penalty.
Yeah, that's it. So I was really chuffed about that because I know more people have Vardy than they do Pope, so I was quite happy with that. So I finished the game week with 56 points. Game week 24, I brought in Robbo, ready for the Liverpool fixture, who didn't really return in this first game, sadly. I couldn't afford Trent, which was a bit of a nightmare. But once again, El Popinho saved the day with 10 points.
Yeah, impressive.
Sadly, Grealish couldn't do what he usually does because Watford took it in turns to foul him, which is a brilliant tactic when you consider he's probably carrying the whole of the team. You got close, but no cigar, so nothing there from Grealish.
It's quite easy to foul Grealish because he's got such massive calves. Can't miss him really, can you?
Yeah, I mean, he has got quite big calves. But then again, it's probably because he wears the short socks, so you probably get to see it more.
I can't help feeling you literally can't even get the socks over the trying like beginning every game. Are you coming, man? You coming? He said, just a minute. Oh, God, I'm gonna have to go without shin pads again.
Yeah, so I finished currently with 38 points. Also got Salah's triple captain. My condolences to anyone who triple captained Mane.
Mane's injured, isn't
he? Yeah, Mane's out for a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, he's injured. Like he actually is injured, isn't he?
Yeah. So he's probably not going to make the West Ham game.
I doubt it very much.
Yeah. So last and least, James Burson, would you like to say a few words?
This is the part of the season every year where I drop off. So I've dropped off again. But what I would say is that I've been getting carried by De Bruyne, and the one person I would have been carried by is Pope. If I had Pope and go instead of Patricio, because he got 10 points last week, and the week before that he got 12, and that's a lot of points.
You've had Pope sitting there on your bench with 22 points.
22 points.
Fuming.
22 points. Yeah.
You must be.
I could have just relaxed. I could have relaxed. If I had Pope one, I wouldn't have to worry about anything. But Tyrone Mings has got me 9 points this week.
You had Mings?
Yeah. Tyrone Mings. I've had him for a while. Some of these guys, I got them long term. I knew I was going to drop off. So there were players that I got that I thought if I drop off, these guys can step in and at least they'll be getting me points when I'm not focusing.
Yeah, but
I've got a friend who's doing well this season.
His 9 points have to be the jammiest 9 points I've ever seen. Because wasn't
100%.
he lying on the ball and the ball got kicked against him, went in, and then he gets the goal.
100%. These are jammy as hell.
Honestly, this year
it's been doing very well for me as well.
This year, I feel like you have to have like really abstract, like really out there players to really make a dent, because the template is so similar for everyone. Even if you get a good week, everyone else is going to have a good week, unless you have like your Mings and your Akes and your weird players that no one really has. And I think that's what you're doing, James. You're holding all these odd players that not many people would have. So
but it is a gamble. It's a gamble.
Quite a gallery of obscure players you've got there. I mean, I have to say, the way Villa concede, I never would have thought of Mings at all. But credit, like Derek said,
he's cheap as hell. He's cheap.
And hardly everyone's got them. And he's right. The template's so obvious. It's not just that there's certain players who are always doing well. It's that everybody can see it. So everybody's got Vardy. Everyone's got Mane. A lot of people got
Sterling.
Yeah, Soyuncu's and hundreds of thousands, millions of teams. KDB's and millions of teams. Yeah. So you don't really move all that much. And it is about the weird tangent players. For me, it's the Wolves boys.
McNeil as well. Yeah, the Wolves boys and McNeil as well. One thing I would say as well is that I still think it's important to keep your KDBs and to keep your Salahs and that sort of stuff, because you need them points as well. But it's just the extra points you need to get on top of that, the obscure players. If I was really playing this properly, so say next season or like a season that I really focus, I would change those obscure players on a weekly basis just to make sure that I get it right. But it is still such a risk. I believe you can never get it right every week. It's just literally impossible to get it right every week.
Well, I've decided that next year we're having a forfeit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I want to get back to that, definitely, but that will certainly make things interesting.
Yeah.
The favourite to do so. I don't know if I want to sign on to that, because you guys have constantly stopped every single year.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the games of Game Week 23 and 24, were there any games in particular that, guys, that you had any thoughts about, just quickly?
The Wolves comeback was amazing.
It
was amazing. And the way they're playing at the moment, they're looking like they're going to get that Europa spot. If not that, they could even probably scrape it for the top 4, because they're playing really well at the moment.
It's true. I've always thought that they played well, but I think now there's some end product to it as well. That they're all comfortable on the ball. The passing's nice and crisp. They create really good chances. They don't necessarily always put them away. But yeah, Wolves, I think they've got a lot to be confident about.
Yeah. To be fair, there are some games where Wolves will go throughout the whole entire game just defending well, holding the ball well, get like 3 chances and they'll score all 3.
Yeah. I read somewhere that Wolves have used the smallest amount of their squad out of the whole league. Just imagine. So they must be really fit as well. Plus, they've already played about 40 games, all told.
Really fit or really tired?
Well, the tiredness isn't showing right now, so that is something to watch.
Hasn't shown at all.
Yeah.
Hasn't shown at all.
Yeah, they were impressive.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right, then, let's move on to the first topic. We've already touched on it. The double game week, if it isn't already obvious to people.
This double game week was a nightmare. Like, I think everyone got stuffed. Everyone got shafted. It's just been horrible. It's just a nightmare, which I can't wait for it to end.
Yeah.
Vardy's got injured. Your Liverpool team keep clean sheets. Your Mane's got injured. Your Salah's blanked. It's just been horrible.
It has. Unless you've got Henderson, I suppose.
Unless you've got Henderson. James, have you got Henderson? I'm not surprised if you do have it.
I got Wijnaldum.
These are kind of choices you need to be making.
Yeah.
You know, only had been Henderson instead of Wijnaldum, which still has me scratching my head, frankly.
No, but Wijnaldum, every so often, he will have a game where he'll score about 2.
Wijnaldum scored, it was just disallowed, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that happened too. Like, Wijnaldum, every so often, he has a game where he overperforms. And that's what sets you apart from everybody else, because you get the points that everybody else has, plus you got Wijnaldum that's going to get you these extra points. And that's happened to me before, so I haven't forgotten it. And
other people who don't have Wijnaldum are going to have players who are scoring even better than he is, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but that's like De Bruyne and Aubameyang and
Jota. No, it's like players like Grealish, Maddison, Traore.
Grealish is ticking over so nicely.
Is
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he score though? Does he score a lot? Because I know that
he scores the majority of the goals for Leicester.
For Leicester?
Grealish? For
Aston Villa.
Sorry, for Villa.
It's
because we mentioned. It's because I was just thinking about Maddison for a second.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Madison, the thing about Madison and Grealish, the reason why I didn't go for them is because a lot of times, like, they're those players, it's almost like João Felix. When they're playing so well and they're involved in the game and they're making everything happen, but they're never the ones who actually get the actual assist or the actual goal. They're always just getting close. But now it's getting to the point where they're getting end products, which is kind of scary.
Well, yeah, but James, Maddison was doing that last season, okay? He takes all the set pieces of Leicester. A lot of the attacks go through him. And even though I've never been a big fan of Grealish, I think from the start of the season, everything was going through him as well.
Yeah. But both of them were never this consistent. They've never been this consistent. Like, I didn't think they were to step up to the plate.
I'll tell you something about Grealish. I think he's on a mission to make sure his team doesn't get relegated. So he's taken it upon himself to make things happen, because no one else, he believes, can do it at the team. And the team believe in him. So when they get the ball, they just go, give it to Grealish. He can make it happen.
To be fair, he was the best player. But to be fair, he was the best player the last time Aston Villa were in the Premier League. He was their best player.
He wasn't.
He was. He was better than him.
No, he wasn't. Benteke was.
Yeah, but...
So he wasn't.
You already had him. Yeah.
So look, I'm looking here at the list of midfielders who are around the same price as Wijnaldum. Okay, and like he's not even in the top 30, my friend.
Who? Okay, give me one.
Traore.
Yeah. Okay. So players who are better than Wijnaldum in that price range: Trossard, Redmond, Almiron.
Oh yeah, Redmond. He's been on fire, hasn't he?
Redmond.
Georginio,
Henderson, and James. You'll love this. Daniel James is doing way better than Wijnaldum.
No, he's not.
Coutinho, yes, he is.
James was doing quite good at the start of the season. That's why
he's on 77 points, and Wijnaldum is on 65.
But I guess James is a regular starter, whereas Genie is not.
Well, yeah, but then the point is you get the points, so don't you?
Yeah, true.
There's a reason why Wijnaldum isn't a regular starter. So you have to factor that into... Anyway, I'm busting your balls, James.
I know. But you know what I'm doing at this right at this second? I'm actually looking at players to swap Ronaldo for. I'm doing my substitution right at this second.
Perhaps a little bit too late, but anyway.
Yeah, but I'm just preparing. This is
all right.
So yeah, the double game week, it has been difficult, but I think it's just bad luck really, because Mane was in such good form, and you can't predict injuries. It just happened. You know, what was it about? Was it about maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if you say it was the same with Vardy. You can't predict injuries, although Vardy probably is not quite as resilient as some players. So I think it's down to that. A lot of it is just down to just unpredictable nature of injuries. And sometimes you've got to take a punt. Like I said before, a couple of episodes back, with the double game week, you never know who's going to play two games because they're usually quite close together. But when there's like 6 days between the game, and you've got a team who are in such good form with 2 winnable games where they can get points, you've got to go for it, man. So
here's a question I've got to ask you guys, actually. It's just kind of change the subject, but what's happened to Callum Wilson?
Well, he did score in the last game.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
I feel like things are not working out like they were before.
Well,
he had a good start to the season, didn't he? But then calmed down a bit, as most of them did. Like, Bookie's back on it.
More or less. He still misses way too many chances for my liking, but I think the last goal he scored is a penalty, so at 6.5, wherever how much he costs, you're not going to sniff at that. But the problem with Wilson is well documented, is that he's a streaky player. And I think probably not helping that Josh King isn't playing, and Bournemouth has just been in terrible form generally anyway. So I think all of that came together to make sure he went for about 10 or 15 games without doing anything. But when he gets his mojo back, he's worth a look, because he knows where the goal is.
Okay. Yes, that's true. Yeah. He'll be definitely so he can get his mojo back.
Yeah.
That I'm so proud of.
Manchester City, guys, what happened with Palace? Manchester City threw Palace 2-0. Is this the end of the Pep era?
Somebody said that Man City were going to score 4 goals minimum. Can anybody remind me who that was?
I remember this, and someone else said that
City were going to absolutely. What was the word? Was it hammer Palace?
Straight
Palace. I can't think of the word.
I tell you what. Yeah, I'll be real with you. I don't know what's going on in City. I don't know what's happening, but I don't know. They just don't look right. You know.
Technically, I was correct because I said City would do that, because the team that played weren't City. They were just like City lookalikes, basically. They found a bunch of people who look like City players.
I love the way you put that so beautifully, Derek. Yeah. So, I'm not going to ask you to bow down and kiss the ring, but bow down and kiss the ring. I told you, man. I told you. Yeah, Palace are not mugs. I told you that Palace were not mugs, and City have not looked like themselves for most of the season. They're wobbly. You know, sometimes they're just not on it. They're sloppy. Sometimes they're all over the place. And granted, it's not going to happen every game. And granted, you know, they are going to whip people, but you can't rely on them as much as you could last season. They ain't the same as last season's day.
They're not. They're definitely not. And I've learnt and taken note now.
But actually, while we're on the topic of City, I believe you mentioned Aguero and whether we're seeing, the real Aguero. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Aguero's back.
Mm-hmm.
Aguero's back, and I reckon he's here to make a statement. He's in such good form at the moment. How can he just come on and score like that?
Yeah.
It's amazing, and De Bruyne's loving it because he's getting more assists because he knows he can rely on Aguero.
Well, he's got to, hasn't he? If something's happened with Sterling, though, that's a person who's
I know. I don't know if he's getting unlucky or if
I think I wouldn't say he's a lack of confidence, but he's not sharp yet. Like, I think he missed a few games and now he's not in sync. So what he's got in his head is not coming off on the pitch. It will take a while for him to get back to where he was, but he will get back. He will start scoring. Once he scores 1 or 2, he'll be back.
He's got the pedigree. That's the thing. I think it'd be dangerous to write him off.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That pedigree is real. It's not any. You know.
Yeah. All I would say with Aguero is that he does cost a fair bit, and you just never know what you're getting with Pep. So by all means, get him in, get the points, but have a strong bench because
Yeah.
you just never know when Pep just gets one of these little fancies.
I'm pretty sure Pep does fantasy football as well.
Does what? Eh?
He totally does. He totally does. He
Because
must.
honestly,
He does what? Said Pep does what? You said?
fantasy football.
Oh yeah.
He just transfers players in and out on a weekly basis.
Yeah, that's right. And he sees who the most owned is, and he just thinks, yeah, nah. What I'll do is I'll put this guy on the 89th minute so you don't get your auto suck.
Honestly, it's crazy.
We're going to see it at the end of the season where he comes out as the number one player. He says, I thought this would happen. I'm so happy. I'd like to thank everybody who made this.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Guys, can we talk about Everton's shocking defeat?
Oh yeah.
Because
Or
that
what?
was absolutely not defeat. Sorry, I'll call it a defeat.
Well, when
'cause
they
me, it was a defeat.
capitulated to Newcastle United. Yeah, because you've got the double Everton defence, haven't you?
So
Been a kick in
Saliba
the
wasn't
gut,
playing,
man. Yeah.
so I was quite happy about that.
Got a whole game.
I was really happy for Moise Kean to score that goal. I thought it was really good for his confidence. It was good for the team rapport. A nice goal. And
Yeah, but it took him off after.
Well, I mean, let's hope this is the start of something because he'd be a nice option.
Yeah, he would be a good option, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he's maybe 7.4 or something like that, and a bit of value up front. And because Ancelotti, I've noticed he's been paying them both 2 strikers, hasn't he? So that might have something to do with the fact that Richarlison's injured at the moment.
Yeah,
it does. But at the same time, he could communicate with Moise Kean a lot better than the former managers. To speak the language of him, it's just very easy for him to, get the best out of him. So let's hope that what I'm saying is actually true.
Yeah, actually, Moise Kean, you can get him for 6.4 now.
Oh wow!
I know. I thought he
scores. That's more that's going to change.
Yeah, well, again, I don't think Everton are quite there yet, obviously, because I'm pretty certain most people weren't expecting them to draw with Newcastle United, but they've certainly improved under Ancelotti. So maybe again towards the end of the season they might be worth a look.
We have to remember Ancelotti is he's a top manager, so it's inevitable that Everton will improve. This is inevitable.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it was inevitable.
So you think he can flop at Everton?
Well, I wouldn't say flop, but he might be underwhelming.
I think
he might not get them quite yet. Because it's not like he's managing Chelsea, with the resources and their pulling power, for example, or Real Madrid. It's a different ask managing Everton. They expect you to do
Everton
a lot.
have a good squad, though. They should do well.
Yeah, but they're not the only team who are up there. You've got to look at who they're competing against.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, there's this, a lot of jostling up there at the top. Behind Liverpool, basically, everyone's jostling. Everyone's jostling. It's all I'm saying is that even with a strong squad and a good manager, you've got to have a lot of things going your way. Yeah. Do we want to touch on Leicester because they were having a bit of a wobble before that game? Who was it they beat 4-1?
4-1. Oh,
yeah. Who was it? It was West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah.
West Ham.
Yeah. So what's our feeling on Leicester?
Leicester.
Perez is interesting.
I just think they've got a few hard games coming up, but that's never stopped them this season from scoring.
No. Yeah.
Especially Vardy, but I don't know if he's going to be back to fitness in time for the next game. I don't know how serious his injury is.
Well, it's not because he's on the bench for tonight's game.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I'm just checking to see now whether he actually came on. Oh my God, Leicester lost.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No.
2-1. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they lost. Let's see what happened here. All right. I'm going to see Vardy came on. He did. Came on and he played for about 35 minutes.
So he's not injured?
No. I think, let's just double check what's happening here. Yeah, the flag's come off him, so he's going to be ready for Chelsea.
Okay. Well, I took him out, so...
Oh.
What do you guys see that Leicester? Okay, now I'll wait till the end of the show to get into that. But that's going to be an interesting match.
The Leicester versus Chelsea.
Yeah, very. It'll be very telling.
We can get onto that with the predictions a bit later. Yeah. But with Leicester, I'm not going to write them off just yet because they've shown for most of the season that they can do it. And obviously, again, Brendan Rodgers is a good manager, and it pretty much seems like he's got them playing the way that he wants to. And it should be encouraging that without Vardy on the pitch, they can still batter West Ham.
Have you heard that Steven Gerrard does juju?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Where's this?
Because recently he possessed N'Golo Kante.
You're going to have to explain this to me.
Have you not seen the Arsenal game?
No, I didn't see any of it at all. Oh. Wait, what, the one against Chelsea? Oh, yeah. Man, I can't believe already you want to flame Kante. Or it's just
not blame him, just,
Lampard didn't blame Kante.
Yeah.
No.
Lampard blamed Emerson.
Really? Well, I mean, in a situation like that, the only way to stop somebody is to get a yellow card, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not going to stop them with a legal tackle. That's when you've got to show how you're streetwise. Because like Sergio Ramos would have cleaned that Martinelli out, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Would have rugby tackled him. He said, "I got the ball." He would have pointed to the ball. Martinelli be there with his leg pointing the other way.
Ramos still plays like
Alfred Haaland.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can see the bone poking out. I got the ball. It was a good goal, though, the Martinelli goal.
Took it very well. Martinelli is very good, that guy is.
Very good. And the price they bought him for, it's a steal.
Yeah.
It was very cheap. It was like 7 mil or something ridiculous. 5
mil.
mil.
You see how much he costs on fantasy?
How much?
Probably the same. So
probably the same.
five.
Still at 5-4 mil.
Yeah.
I was just checking earlier that I don't think he'll score in the next game, but he's someone that definitely should be on the mind. Aubameyang's back now anyway, so no real point.
Although the Barcelona thing isn't going away quite
yet.
Yeah. They've still got 3 days to do it, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. Talk about Barcelona, aren't they trying to hijack Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah. See, this is the problem that Manchester United have got, right? If you spend a season and a half with your fans moaning and complaining, and pundits moaning and complaining, and ex-players moaning and complaining that they need a better squad, then the minute they go out and try to buy somebody, everybody knows how desperate they are because they're under pressure.
Yeah.
So they're paying over the odds for Fernandes, and they know they are. They never wanted to, but everybody's going, "Oh, the squad's so crap. The squad's so crap. The ball, the crap. We need to back the manager and spend lots and lots of money." And when people hear that, it's like, "Oh, Manchester United, you can afford it. 55 million."
But they had the chance to buy him for cheaper before, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't they? They did. Same with Maguire.
Maguire. He's sitting there, right, looking at Leicester second in the table.
He's good. Well, apparently Sanchez might make a return to the Prem.
Well, again, they're just showing their desperation, really. I mean, me personally, I felt that Sanchez was like a big fish in a small pond when he was at Arsenal. And
really?
Yeah, well, maybe that's not quite the phrase that I'm looking for. But the way Arsenal played and the way he played, it was all just set up to get the best out of him. Basically, everything had to go through him. And you could tell that he was such a boss on the pitch that all the players ended up passing to him anyway because they knew he could do something with it. But
I think Sanchez just had the Torres effect once he moved to Arsenal. Just like, sometimes you click with a team just because of the people you play with, right? And the team makes you feel good. I don't think United made him feel good.
No, there's that too. But the thing about Sanchez is that even when Arsenal were playing badly, he still got the point. Because I can remember I had him in my fantasy team, I think, at one point, and he stopped scoring, and everybody was selling him. They were all getting rid of him. And I said, no, I'm keeping Sanchez because he's got a double game week coming up. And the fact is, he's a good player and he can do it. And not only that, everything good goes through him at Arsenal. Nobody else really does anything there. He takes the penalties. He's always up there on the box. And he's a midfielder who scores goals. So I kept him, and the double game week came, and he got 17 points, and I captained him, and I got 34 points out of him. Because to me, I just looked at Arsenal, and I thought he's the main points getter. There's no way two ways about it.
Yeah, it's true. But he's not that guy anymore, is he?
No, totally.
Now at Manchester United, he's going to be as important for them as he would be for Arsenal. So
no, I just think
that's why Solskjaer was saying that, because
he's saying that because he's under pressure.
Yeah, he is under pressure. He's thinking
nonsense. I mean, the other day he was comparing himself to Klopp. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I remember. That was hilarious.
No, what did he say? How dare he?
He was like, Klopp had 4 years, so why don't you give me some time?
Oh, stop.
Klopp's never managed Borussia Dortmund and got to the Champions League before, or he's never managed Borussia Dortmund and won the Bundesliga, or he's never had the achievements before he actually got to Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the list is endless. The list is endless, and me of all people, you know what I have to say about that, so I'm saying nothing.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, Grealish. We've already kind of mentioned him, but did we want to add anything more to that?
He's a good player. I think he's good value for money in terms of points per game, and I think he's literally on a mission to make sure his team are not relegated. I like the fact that he's not scared to run with the ball. He can be quite selfish sometimes, which is good as a FPL manager. You want the selfish players, so he's definitely one to have in your team. If he doesn't create the assist, the guy who gets the assists probably gets the ball from him. So I rate him highly. He's in my team anyway. So.
And another thing, he is in my team. I've done a massive U-turn on him.
Yeah, I saw you brought him in. I was fuming.
I can't remember who I got rid of just to get Grealish in. You know, it may have been KDB, funnily enough.
Try
But yes, it was a huge U-turn. I will not deny that. Aston Villa don't have a striker at the moment, they just brought that kid in, and I think he may have even played tonight. But at the moment, they have been playing him up front as well. So a midfielder playing in the front three, you've got to have some of that. James, you tempted to swap Grealish for Wijnaldum?
It's not the same price.
Isn't he? How much Grealish now? I got him when he was 6 mil, maybe 6.2, maybe.
Grealish now will set you back 6.7, and I think is Wijnaldum like 6?
Wijnaldum is. I think he's more than that. You know, I thought I transferred him already.
More than Grealish. I'm sorry.
Basically, you're Wijnaldum taking tips from Kepa. He's refusing to.
I thought I did it already.
Wijnaldum says no. He's staying.
He's not going.
To be fair, he's 5.4 million, so you'd have to find like 1.3 from somewhere. But
James, bring in a Sheffield player. They've got some good fixtures coming up.
You're right. But the thing is, I'm not gonna lie. I know nothing about Sheffield United. You know, like I don't really know. All I know is that they play well as a team and they're good to watch.
If you want any tips, just ask away. I know 1 or 2 players I'd recommend.
The only Sheffield United midfielder I know is Ravel Morrison.
Yeah, he's not playing.
He never plays. Give me a tip, please. Give me a tip, please. Sheffield United midfielder.
I would recommend Fleck.
Fleck. You're not trying to sabotage me, are you?
No, I'm not.
No, I
mean, if it was Kojo, maybe, but not you. You're like, you're so far away.
I'll take Fleck.
That's a pity voice. But in fact, you know what? I'll do better. I'll ask my 7-year-old daughter to give you some tips.
What's she gonna say? What's she gonna say?
No, Fleck is somebody I think.
I was actually open for the advice. I was actually open for the tip. I wasn't missing. Flexing.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly the defenders I've been looking at because some of them have been playing quite well lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, O'Connor. That's right.
So I put someone in that I fully believe in now. I fully believe in this striker that I've just added to my team. And his name is Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Welcome to the bandwagon.
Yes, I've been in the bandwagon. The thing is, a guy that sits in front of me at work supports Everton. So I talk to him about the games every single day, like always talking about Calvert-Lewin. I've been watching how consistent he's been this year. And his consistency, I kind of see it only getting better now, especially under Ancelotti. And the next game is against Watford as well. Watford are very difficult. Obviously, they're under Pearson and that sort of stuff, so they're
Yeah.
very different. But I still see him getting a goal in that game. So
Well,
I'm
his cuts are good. He's taking shots. He's getting in the box, and we'll have to see. I'm sticking with Ings at the moment, and it's possible I may have even been a bit late to that. But again, sometimes patience pays off.
And the next game week, Ings' next game is against Liverpool.
Yeah, I know.
Liverpool away, Anfield.
Yeah.
Liverpool,
Yeah.
Anfield.
Yeah.
The score against Liverpool and Anfield.
Well, why not?
Okay.
Wolves really should have had 2 goals in that game. I mean, was it Moutinho? He missed the sitter. Jimenez headed in the ball, and all he had to do was keep it down.
Yeah, but
actually, one thing I want to say about the Liverpool defence, a lot of people were surprised when they conceded against Wolves, but a lot of the games they've had, it's just down to 1 or 2 things that they didn't concede. Martial really should have scored against Liverpool. Any other game, he would have put that away. When they played Watford a few games back, Watford had so many chances to score. Spurs had so many chances to score as well. Lo Celso missed a sitter. So I'm not saying that the Liverpool defence is bad, but what I'm saying is that they can concede. So I'm quite happy with that. But anyway, I didn't just bring Ings in to play Liverpool, you know.
You're in for a longer run.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. You don't just get them in for 1 game. Or maybe you do. I don't know.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Anyway, times are moving on. So I think we should look at player picks and predictions, unless there's any objections.
No, let's do that.
All right, then. Before we get on to what will be game week 25, anybody would like to tell me what the West Ham Liverpool score is going to be?
I think Liverpool keep a clean sheet, probably win 3-0. Salah, 2 goals, probably Firmino 1.
James, what's your prediction for West Ham Liverpool?
So it's funny. There's a guy at my workplace that supports West Ham, and he says if West Ham beats Liverpool, I have to wear the West Ham kit at work for the whole entire day. He's got a West Ham kit ready.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet.
It is a good bet, but I'm dead certain that Liverpool will win that game, so I don't really have much of a worry.
So you've taken it then, yeah?
Yeah, I think this was.
Okay, you hesitated a little bit there, my friend.
Yeah, because it's scary. It's very scary. Anything.
All right, let's do this properly then. I mean, obviously, game week 24 is pretty much all but over, so let's look at the big games for game week 25. Okay, so Leicester at home to Chelsea, 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. That one is difficult game. I see it being a close-fought battle, but I see Leicester pipping it.
Same here.
I just don't believe that Frank is a better manager than
Brendan.
Yeah.
I'm going for Leicester for that game.
Yeah. I think the wheels have come off a little bit for Chelsea, and it's still a young squad. Strangely enough, it doesn't look like they're making any transfers, or if they are, they're not massively publicised ones, are they? I mean, the only thing I've seen them linked with is Cavani so far.
Yeah, I think it was kind of cold for Lampard to say that they need a striker when Batshuayi is there.
Yes, I saw that as well. I thought, what's going on there? You know? Yeah. I just think it's a real shame. Again, there's just some players who all they need is a bit of a run. I still can't believe Greenwood isn't getting a start at Manchester United as well. That's just mystifying.
I think he's too young to be starting like that. If he's starting like that, it would limit his career. I think that Rashford's has been limited by the amount of games he's been given at this moment. You should never be relied on when you're that young.
Well, it's not about relying. It's about having somebody in there who can do the job. Because Martial's not doing it, is he? Who's scoring the goals for Man United? You might as well have somebody who's a striker in there.
I don't know what's wrong with Martial. I don't get what's going on there.
He's a streaky player as well, in my opinion. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Does anyone have anything to say about Bournemouth Aston Villa? The basement bun fight?
I think it's not going to be a high-scoring affair.
I
can see Bournemouth keeping Villa from scoring. But then again, it could be a 1-1. It could be a 1-0. I don't see many goals. So I see either Bournemouth winning it 1-0 or it being a draw 1-1.
One thing I can definitely confirm about that game is that I will not be watching it.
Okay. well, you won't be anyway because it's on at 3:00.
Yeah. They should have right at the end.
All right. Personally, I think that Bournemouth are back because they do this every season. They get really, really bad. They slide towards the relegation zone, and then Eddie Howe just sprinkles his magic dust on some of the players, and then they win their next game 4-0. So not only do I think that Bournemouth are back, I think they're going to put a fair few goals past Aston Villa.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay, Liverpool v Southampton.
That's going to be a win for Liverpool.
Yeah, I think it'll be about a 1 or 2 victory. It won't be like anything prolific.
No Mane though.
Yeah,
It's not going to stop them. Not against Southampton. Southampton have been in good form of late, but they won't stand a chance against Liverpool at home.
I don't know if I'm brave enough to predict an upset with this one, actually. So I'm just going to play it safe because Southampton, even though they have been playing well, the defence has never been entirely all that reliable. You know, I don't think of them as one of those strong defensive teams. I don't think they've been that for a long time. So I think, again, this is just one game. Sorry, are you going to say something? Nope. No. Okay. Yeah, Liverpool win, basically. Watford and Everton?
I was hoping you would pick that game. That game looks very interesting to me. Very interesting. I think Everton could pip it because I know Watford have been very good since Pearson's been there, but I think Ancelotti has a point to prove at this moment in time, especially since that 2-2 game. I don't think he's happy with that game at all. I think he gave his team a real in the dressing room, and now's their chance to respond.
Yeah, okay. In Italian, presumably. Actually, his English is quite good. But I would say the same about Watford because they lost to Aston Villa. Pearson's not going to like that at all. And Pearson just looks like a psychopath, yeah? He looks like Vinnie Jones's dad. He behaves like him as well. So if you said, who are you more scared of, Pearson or Ancelotti? I'd have to go.
I'm more scared of Pearson, but Ancelotti, I want to impress him more, you know?
There is that.
I feel like if Ancelotti, I impress him, he can go to a bigger club and he can make me follow him. So my career can be a lot better with Ancelotti. So this is like my chance. With Pearson, it's more like I just don't want to have a bad day at work tomorrow. So I need to make sure that I perform so I don't get...
Use that word again. You know I'm going to have to censor you, don't you?
I'm sorry, I didn't even realise that, man.
It's all right. Yeah, I think Watford might get something out of the game. They might not win, but I think they've got a good chance of getting a draw. All right, then. Man United versus Wolves, which is at 5:30, so the late game.
So this should be a good game. I can see United keeping Wolves at bay, surprisingly. I've been giving United a bit of stick recently, and it has been deserved. But
it's been more than deserved.
But my gosh.
United usually play the better team.
They
usually play well.
Yeah.
Last time they played Wolves, which was in the FA Cup, they played well and they won.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So that was only like midway through this month. So like 2 weeks ago. So this is like round 2 and United will be at home. I don't see Wolves winning this. If anything, it could be a draw, but
I don't see Wolves winning.
I'm going to go with my gut feeling and say I can see United keeping Wolves out and winning.
Okay. I'm hoping for a result for Wolves, obviously, because I'm still rolling with Traore and Jimenez. And the thing about Wolves is that they can do it against anybody when they want. But that's just my hope. The reality is, the problem with Man United is they just keep going from good to bad, don't they? And bad to good. So maybe they're due a good result.
But I'll tell you what, their last FA Cup result is definitely going to give a lot of confidence in their players, even though it was against Tranmere Rovers.
Well, again, Wolves ain't Tranmere, but confidence is a funny thing. It's true. All you have to do is score a goals, and even if you're scoring it against Kidderminster Harriers, you might feel like you could take on,
I'll tell you what, they were doing a lot of, forward passes. A lot of forward passes. So, like, that's something that they usually do. They do a lot of square passes.
Well, it depends. I mean, by and large, people say that Solskjaer likes to set up his team up to counter-attack, but Wolves are quite capable of doing that as well. And you know what the Man United fans are like at home at Old Trafford? They're very demanding. It's all about attack. We're Man United. You've got to attack and attack and attack. Well, look what happened when they attacked Liverpool. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, Burnley versus Arsenal.
Ooh, I see that being a 1-1 draw.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even Burnley winning 2-1.
Wow.
Burnley have improved. I don't know what's come into them, but they've improved and they do look like they can score some goals. However, Arsenal are in great form and they've got a lot of confidence about them. I can see Arsenal winning this game, in my opinion.
I can't call it at all. I really can't, because I've been thinking that Arsenal have been doing, or at least they should be doing better defensively now. They're certainly working a lot harder. They're still not getting those clean sheets. I predict all those episodes ago. And Burnley look like they're back. And again, Dyche just sprinkled his magic dust, and it's working. Aubameyang's going to be back, isn't he? For us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Are Arsenal signing anybody? They're not, are they?
Nope.
Nah.
I haven't a clue. So what I'm going to say is, do you know what? I read somewhere that Aubameyang likes to score against Burnley, so I'm going to go with an Arsenal win. And that's all I've got. Okay. Mourinho versus Guardiola. 4:30. Sky Sports. Be there or don't.
Square.
Oh, don't. Or listen to it.
Oh, listen.
Radio.
Talk sport, not talk
with
sport.
Alan Brazil and the other. What's his name? Well, they're all. See, I'm trying to censor myself now.
I know.
Never mind.
I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that. I really wanted to say that. You said it for me.
I know.
The sense
I
of
know.
what they are.
Myself.
Yeah. Alan Brazil.
100%. Yeah. What do you think?
I think Mourinho's. I think it's the comeback of Mourinho. I think since selling Eriksen and all that sort of stuff that's going on there, I think now there's going to be a different feeling in the dressing room, and they're going to show it.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to show it.
Yeah, I'm going for City.
Okay. Ooh. I don't know. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for City, mainly because I think Mourinho needs a bit more time. I mean, it started well enough, but I think it's obvious that he still hasn't quite got them playing the way he wants. It's difficult with Kane. Now that Eriksen's gone, they really need Ndombele back, but he's not playing either. They don't have any left backs at the moment. Ryan Sessegnon's too young or too inexperienced. He's still not quite there yet. So I just see a lot more problems for Spurs than I do Man City, who've got Laporte back now.
Oh, yeah. He's back.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. So City for me.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay. Player pick. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first, actually.
Okay.
So I want to shout out Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That's the guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I also want to pick Ayoze Perez.
Fair enough.
And the last pick I'm going to go with is Andre Ayew. No, brother. Jordan.
Jordan, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Absolutely cool. Derek?
So I'll probably go with Aguero first of all. I just think he's found his form again, and Spurs is going to be a nice playground for him to exercise his recent found shooting boots. So yeah, I think Aguero is one to definitely look out for this week. If you don't have him, you can get severely hurt in the ranks. Next pick for me is Morpay, the striker. I think he's getting quite close recently, but no cigar. And I think he's going to probably have a lot more success with West Ham, who haven't been too great defensively. So that's my second pick. My third pick, I'm actually going to go for a Newcastle player. So I'm going to go for Saint Maxim.
Yeah, that's a smart decision.
He's got a lot of pace and he brings a lot to the team. Norwich are not too great defensively as well. And Newcastle obviously are quite good at coming back from losses or coming back from a position of losing recently. So I do think he's got potential for that game. So yeah, those are my 3 player picks.
Yeah, no, I think Newcastle have a good run coming up, so could be some joy there. All right, I'm so excited. I've actually got 3. I've been given some time to think, and I've got 3. So first of all, I'm going to say Dean Henderson of Sheffield United, because he's been doing really well recently, and obviously Sheffield United can defend. So for a few pennies, he can get some clean sheets there. And then secondly, I'm going to go with Firmino. And the main reason for that is that I think with Mane out, he's probably going to step up a little bit, and obviously I don't know much about Liverpool as you two, but I just have a feeling that we might see a lot more from him in the coming week.
I think I agree. The last game, when he came on with Salah, It was such different that the way they were passing the ball to each other, they were finding each other so easily and just getting shots at goal. You could just see the difference between the levels between them and whoever was on before them.
Okay. And then my final pick is a little bit kind of out of nowhere, but I'm going to say Chris Wood of Burnley because he's been scoring well recently. Burnley are their back, and again, I think a lot of people are probably going to be selling Mane and they're wondering what they can do with the money. So you can spend a bit up front with Wood, and Burnley are capable of getting goals against a lot of teams, and they usually come through him. So he's my third pick. Yeah. Do you want to do shock results?
Yeah, sure. Pick one each, yeah?
Okay. Yeah, that's right. So who's going to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
So, shock results. I mean, it depends how big of a shock it is, because all the games this week are going to be quite tight, in my opinion. Like, the teams...
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They're relatively evenly matched, aren't they?
Yeah. So it's quite a difficult one. But if we're looking at shock results, then I'm just going to go for the obvious, and you two are probably thinking it, Burnley to beat Arsenal.
Fair enough.
That's what I had on my head, Burnley to beat Arsenal. But apart from just Burnley to beat Arsenal, I also believe that Spurs beating Man City would be a shock result in a way.
Oh, yeah.
But do you think would, I suppose. It would, yeah. Totally, yeah.
It's not meant to happen.
Because Man City, you just expect them to score, don't you?
Yeah, you kind of, for the last few seasons, we're judging on the last few seasons, it should be a comfortable victory for Man City, really. But, I don't see that happen.
My shock result is going to be Wolves and Man United.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously I'm hoping that Wolves do well anyway. But again, with Man United, you can just never tell, you know. And sometimes Wolves are just really, really good. So that's my shock result. I think it would still be a shock, you know. Man United aren't terrible, but yeah. And perhaps I'm not being all that brave. I suppose a real shock would be Southampton, wouldn't it? But I'm not that brave either. I will settle for a goal from Danny Ings and 5 points. That's fine.
I think Danny Ings scoring is a shock result.
Ooh.
I don't think he'll score.
But if he did, you would think that would shock you, would it?
Yeah, I
shock your very core. All right then.
I'm going to say as well, going to be jumping on the Twitter account during the 3 p.m. kickoffs just to see how our teams fare, but also just tweeting about the games. If we do have any interesting things to mention or anything that we do here that we think is worth sharing, we'll be sharing that. So if you do want to listen to that, guys, you can just follow our Twitter account at FPL_Bros.
That's right. Get on the Twitter account. It's all good. There's plenty to see on there. And interact if you want. Let us know what you think. Okay, then. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there. Thanks very much, guys, for taking part. I know it's been tough for some of us lately, but I still do appreciate taking the time out just to basically politic in and just letting our thoughts and feelings flow on football. So that's good night.
Yeah.
So that's it. And a goodbye.
Peace.